Hey, North Point family. Just checking in on you guys and wanted to share a few things with you. Hope that you're staying safe and healthy. I know that these circumstances are affecting people in different ways. We all have our different ways of responding to this stuff, different emotional responses. Stress affects us all differently. And for some of us, this stress has been taken to a whole nother level. Some people just seem like this isn't affecting them at all, or at least they don't feel like it is. Um, Personally, I'm having a difficult time sleeping at night. Part of it, I think, is allergies, but the other part of it is, oh, well, the gym's closed and I can't expend as much energy as I'm used to, so I'm having to adjust to that, right? That seems so insignificant when you consider the bigger problems here, but it's still something that I have to face and I have to deal with, and of course I will. But I wanted to share something with you, regardless of how this is affecting you, however you feel like you're responding to this, whether this is stressing you out or if it isn't, regardless of where you fall. I want to share something with you that is helping me, and I know that it'll help you, regardless of how this is affecting you. Okay, so I want to challenge you to take some time and just sit and pray. Yeah, just sit and pray. Now you might be thinking, well, that's a novel idea. Well, for some of us, maybe it might be. Because when I talk about prayer, I'm not talking about bring your list of demands to God. What I'm saying is setting some time aside to be very intentional about focusing your mind on the presence of God. That is simply resting in His presence, an awareness of God. Okay? Now, in order to do this, you're gonna have to set aside some time and relax. Now, here's what's going on here. Okay, you're gonna learn a lot about yourself when you try and do this. Your body is gonna communicate, and you need to listen to your body. So what's happening here is we're taking in a whole lot of information, and our body is having to respond to this, having to deal with this. And our body will communicate to us how we're handling it and where we're holding the stressors, right? And so when you sit there and you try and relax and and focus on God's presence, you may experience an awareness that you didn't have before. An awareness that your jaw is tight, or maybe you feel the jaw relax, right? You may realize your shoulders are tense and might realize they're relaxing, or maybe they don't relax and you realize they're not relaxing. Maybe a tightness in your chest. Your abs might be sore. Maybe your stomach has been, just uncomfortable. Um, when you sit here and try to relax and focus on God's presence, what you're going to realize is those places in your body where you're holding that tension, where the stress is. Okay, and so, if you think that this isn't affecting you, you may learn otherwise in these moments. Or maybe you realize it's affecting you, but maybe you not realize how much right it is. Maybe you realize it is affecting you, but you're just not aware of what you need to do about it. Well, I suggest you here's your first step: coming into the presence of God and relaxing. When you're trying to relax, you're going to become more aware of how this is affecting you. And as you become more aware of how this is affecting you, you can work on releasing this and giving this to God. You can work on taking this burden and throwing it on His shoulder. You have the opportunity to come to terms with how this is affecting you and work on releasing it to God. And just rest in that moment. Just rest in God's presence, reminding yourself of all the things that you know about God, reminding yourself of all the truths that you hold dear to your heart about God and how He takes care of you, and just resting there and coming to terms with where you are and being okay with that. And as you work to release this, you got to come back to this over and over and over and over again. You work to release this, you just rest. You just rest. And what this is going to do is not only help you come to terms with where you are and how this is affecting you, it's also going to allow you to be in a much healthier place as you deal with the things that are out of your control here, okay? Now, I said set aside some time to do this. I realize that not everyone has all of a sudden had a lot of extra time on their hands. I think some of us think that that's what's going on, right? Because everybody has to stay home now. Well, a lot of you have your hands full because now you're dealing with things that you haven't had to deal with before, right? Kids are home. Maybe you're having to work from home with kids at home and the schooling, and then you're trying to adjust to all sorts of things and helping, even your family adjust to new norms and new routines, and there are certain things you can and cannot do. I get that. So I'm aware of the fact that not everyone has a whole lot of extra time on their hands, and this can be a difficult thing to do. But look, you got to be intentional. You have to be intentional about setting aside some time to do this. And here's the thing. I challenge you to do this. You do this, and then once you get the hang of doing this, you can show other people in your house how to do this, right? And you can help your children even do this. I get it. It can be difficult. And some of them just seem hopeless, right? You can't keep them still for any length of time. And that's okay. That's okay. But as long as you can do this, right, it'll help you respond to the things that are out of your control in this moment, help you come to terms with how this is affecting you, draw you closer to God, and help you just be in a much healthier place when it comes to adjusting to all these new stressors that we haven't had before. So I have found it helpful. I know my wife has found it helpful. I guarantee you that you'll find it helpful as well. If you have any questions, if you need clarification of anything, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I can help walk you through this sort of process. But I guarantee you'll find this beneficial for you in these moments. So, grace and peace, and we'll talk to you soon.